Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in today. This is my Sonic 3 review. We're trying a bit of a new setup here, so that's why it might look a little different. Trying to spice things up a little bit. But I saw Sonic 2 last night, Thursday night screenings. I always like to go to the night screenings. I'm a huge fan of Sonic. Sonic was pretty much the first video game I ever owned back in the Sega Genesis days. My first console was a Sega Genesis. So Sonic is very near and dear to my heart. I still have over there on the shelf my Sonic piggy bank, which I've had for my whole life. Never getting rid of it as long as I can help it. But Sonic 3 hit theaters this weekend, and I gotta say, I enjoyed it a lot. I think Ben Schwartz and Jim Carrey really knocked it out of the park. Idris Elba as Shadow, and Keanu Reeves as Idris Elba as Knuckles and Keanu Reeves as Shadow. Uh, Knocked it out of the park. I don't remember exactly who plays Tails, but forgive me. The story is kind of, the movie's for kids. It's kind of paint by numbers a little bit, but where the movie really shines is the humor and the heart of Sonic and his human counterparts, James Marsden, who's having a pretty good year. Um, they're really the heart and motivations of the movie, which they have been throughout the first three. But this one gets a little deeper, it gets a little darker. It deals with the concepts of loss and almost losing and grief and uh, dealing with that grief and that anger and the sorrow, which I think is great. A great story to tell, especially for kids that are growing up with these movies, and feeling all these new emotions and things, and are able to learn from it and learn it from Sonic, a character that is a lot of fun, very funny, and kicks butt too. So Jim Carrey is also back in a dual role. He plays his grandfather and Ivo Robotnik, who we've seen in the other films. He has a little bit of a bromance, if you will, with his grandfather, which is really funny. There's a whole dance sequence that I thought was really hilarious. It's definitely kid funny, but there's some moments that got me cracking up just because of you get that classic Jim Carrey in this. He's just completely physical comedy, absurd. He'll do anything for the laugh kind of thing. And you get that in this, and I love him even more for it. And you get double doses of that, and kind of the bromance thing with the grandfather is so damn funny, and I love a good kooky bromance. They have some really quippy lines there throughout, but he's dealing with the same stuff Sonic is dealing with in Shadows, like found family and not feeling like you belong kind of thing. And the stakes are a lot higher in this one because of that. So the core of the movie, and what drove a lot of the plot, obviously, is our boy Shadow, who I know everybody was extremely excited for at the end of Sonic 2 when he showed up in the end credits. All the kids yelled Shadow. Like it was crazy. It was like Avengers Endgame level excitement when Shadow came on the screen, and that I felt that energy. It was pretty palpable during the whole movie. People were excited to see Shadow kick butt. Keanu Reeves brought his best Keanu Reeves to Shadow. He didn't do anything particularly different. He had that kind of like sad, slow, a little bit angry kind of gravitas to him. But they told the backstory of Shadow, and his friend that basically got killed in a frivolous thing because they wanted to control Shadow, and his only friend in the world died, and Dr. Robotnik's grandfather also had a relationship with her, and he was broken up by it. So a lot of people really, really hurt. A lot of very powerful and smart people really hurt by the death of this young girl, which leads Shadow kind of into being imprisoned for 50 years and then released by Grandpapa Robotnik, to bring hell. And they basically wanted to destroy the whole world in this, which is pretty nuts. I mean, other Robotnik is fairly low stakes. He wants to kind of just control the world, but they wanted to blow it up. And Shadow is just kind of, he didn't know what else to feel besides anger and the grief. So he kind of lets it all go, and he actually takes out Sonic's buddy Tom, played by James Marsden, at one point, and Sonic loses his little mind, his little blue mind, and the two go at it in a pretty fantastic fight scene. A lot of stuff very reminiscent of Dragon Ball Z stuff. I never realized how many things Sonic had in common with Dragon Ball Z, but there's Super Sonic, there's Super Shadow, or I don't know what they call it, Golden Shadow, but there was a lot of fighting in that, a lot of superpower. We're really seeing a very strong Sonic in this movie, emotionally and physically. So that's a majority of the movie. The movie's really, I think, at the core, it's a comedy. Sonic is very quippy. Ben Schwartz, you don't get Ben Schwartz, you don't have Sonic be quippy and goofy, and obviously a lot of really good scenes with Dr. Robotnik. Kristen Ritter's in this, which I had no idea. She's not in any of the promotions, but she plays kind of like the cold military type that just wants to get the job done. But it's always nice seeing Kristen Ritter in anything. I'm a big fan of hers. But other than that, high stakes. I think it's a lot of fun. The movie moves very quickly. And the animations look great. They did a fantastic job with some of the B characters. And we get a lot of good stuff with Knuckle, Tails, Sonic, talking about friends, being a team. There's a little bit of disappointment there. They come back, forgiveness, just understanding people fail, and they're ready to kind of move forward. I really love the way they built the dynamic with these three between 2 and 3. I did not watch the Knuckles series, so I know they expanded on some stuff there. But it's just, I think this is kind of perfect Sonic movie. Like, if you're a fan of Sonic, these movies are great. They do exactly what you want them to. Again, being funny. There's not a lot of subversion here of Sonic, which I think is good, because Sonic has a core. He has something he stands for. Sonic always means something. Team Sonic, the team. I think it's good that they kind of stay close to the guardrails with Sonic, because I think it just works, and the stories, I think, need to be told on this kind of level, because they are light. They're heartwarming and stuff like that. But again, I really like the way they've put these three together. It's beautiful, and the way they're expanding it with end credits scene. We see Metal Sonic. We see Amy kicking butt with her hammer. So I'm really curious how they're going to integrate her. Who else we're going to see in Sonic 4, which officially got greenlit. So we're getting that, I think, in 2027, which at this point is 2 years away. So they're keeping they're keeping this rolling. It's doing well. The stories are well made. The actors seem to like doing it. Jim Carrey keeps coming back to do them after he said he wasn't going to do any more movies. So it seems like everybody that works on these movies really likes them, and you could feel that when you watch it. It's entertaining and it's fun to watch. So I had a really good time with this. I've enjoyed all the Sonic movies so far. I think if I were to rank them now, I think it's 1, 3, 2. I really like this one a lot. I mean, I've liked all of them. I do think this one had a stronger story than 2. 2 felt a little messy at times. I did like it, but it was definitely messy at times. And this one just moved. So that's my little review of Sonic 3. Let me know what you guys thought. Did you enjoy Sonic 3? If you didn't see it yet, I definitely spoiled some stuff. Are you going to see it still? I suggest you do. It's a fun time. Everybody in the theater seemed to be having fun. The kids, people my age, people kind of in their 20s. It's for everyone. They did a great job. So let me know what you guys think. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.